Hello everybody, this is a tutorial for the voltage drop module, which is part of an app called Electrical Calc. It's available for iOS and Android, but today we're looking at the Android version. So let's get right into it. Before we go into the voltage drop module, what we're going to do is we're going to go select a job that we want to work on. That's going to save the voltage drop calculations we do under that job. So let's go ahead and click on the job module first. In here, you'll have a list of all your jobs. You have a plus button so you can create new jobs. And you have an arrow button beside each to select them. And you have a trash can on the right to delete them. So for now, we're going to select Google. And we're going to work on that job. So any calculations we do now are going to be saved under Google. So let's go ahead and back out of that module. And scroll down into our wires section. And click on our voltage drop module. You'll notice as soon as we come in here that Google is shown in the top bar. That's always your active job showing up there, so you know you're working under the right job. And under the Google job, we can do any number of voltage drop calculations. To look at our voltage drop calculation list, we simply click on the voltage drop icon or the main heading voltage drop. And here's a list of all our voltage drop calculations saved under the job Google. We can add to it just like in our job module with the plus button. We can delete them with trash can, and we can select them with the arrow. So let's go ahead and click on our kitchen feeder. And then we'll back out of here. Now you'll see that our selected job is Google. And within the voltage drop calculation, our main heading is kitchen feed, which is our selected voltage drop calculation. So now that we have everything selected properly, we can go ahead and start. So you have a specs tab and results tab. You're going to fill in your specs, and your results are going to be green boxes showing results. So we'll go ahead and start in the specs tab. First thing you want to do is type in your voltage. So we'll go ahead and put in a 208 volt three-phase feed. Then you're going to want to select your phases. So as I said, it's a three-phase. And the amperage. So we're going to calculate for a 200 amp. So our kitchen feed is a 208 volt three-phase 200 amp feed. Now we're going to go down to our desired voltage drop. Code book tells us we're allowed 5% from the point of service, but this is not from the point of service. This is a branch. So we're allowed a maximum of 3%, so we'll go ahead and select that. Within this drop down, you'll see the common 1, 3, and 5% calculations and also a custom. What you can do with the custom, you don't even need to select it, but you can actually type in. This next box, your voltage drop percentage as well, is showing the exact same number that's here. However, this box allows you to type in a custom value. So say we wanted 2.8%. And as soon as I do that, you'll notice this changes to custom. So you can do a calculation for any voltage drop percentage you wish. However, the common ones are in this easy drop down list here. So let's keep it at 3%. Now we'll go down to our wire run. Here you'll select the temperature rating of your wire. So in this scenario, I'm going to use T90 nylon, which is 90 degree rated obviously. So I'll select 90. You can select your metal type. We can do aluminum feeders or copper. We're going to go with copper on this one. And your method, which is going to be free air or in conduit. So in this case, we're going to do in conduit. Then we're going to select the length. So our kitchen panel is 368 feet away from our main feeders. It's a big building. And it is feet, but however, we can choose meters if we wish in the unit section here. But we'll leave it on feet. And you'll notice on the bottom in the gray footer, this will give you code references. On pretty much all the other modules, it'll give you an actual 2018 CEC code reference. However, in the voltage drop module, we actually use a IEEE formula to calculate voltage drop, not tables D3 and D4. However, this is an internationally recognized formula, and it will give you accurate voltage drop results without having to use these tables D3 and D4, which are a little bit tricky to use, a little bit convoluted in my opinion. Okay, so once you have all your numbers in, you're going to go ahead and click on the Results tab to get your results. First section is going to show us our actual voltage drop in percent and in volts. It's based on our results down here. So our voltage drop percent in this scenario is 2.99 and the voltage is 6.22. So that's the amount of voltage that's being dropped across that run. And that's the percentage based on 208 volts. And then the next crucial section is your wire recommendation. So in this case, it's recommending a 250 MCM since it's such a long run. It's showing our maximum amperage of that wire, which is 290 amps. It's showing our load amperage, which we've typed in from the previous specs section at 200. And it's showing how the percent load of our wire. So our wire is actually only loaded to about 69%. However, because of the distance, it needed to be quite a bit larger to prevent our voltage drop from going over 3%. So what the app is doing is it's satisfying two criteria. It's satisfying your voltage drop percentage, and it's satisfying your load amperage as well. Now at this point, you can actually cycle through these wire sizes, just in case you did. Like as you can notice here, 2.99% is extremely close to our requested or required 3%. So you can actually choose any wire size you want, and it will give you the voltage drop instantly. So let's just go down to 3/0, what we typically use for 200 amp, just to see. And you'll see if we were using a 3/0 on this long distance, our amperage of our wire would be 225. So it would satisfy our load amperage, but it does not satisfy our voltage drop, not even close. It's with that size of wire, we actually get a 4.69% voltage drop. So way too high. And we could also go up from where we were. We're at 250, which give us that very close 2.99%. So we might want to go ahead and pull 300s to get us, will give us a little buffer. So now we're at 2.49% voltage drop. And our wire is only loaded to 62% now. So there's quite a bit you can do just by changing the wire size here. You can actually get any voltage drop calculation for any wire size just by selecting the wire size. It'll recalculate. Once it does recalculate, it'll show in red, just to show that this is not an actual calculated value by the app, but it is a manually overridden value by yourself. And I'll show you later in this menu up here, we can actually force this to recalculate. Well, I'll show you right now. If you click on this menu and you hit recalculate, this will force the app to recalculate any values to calculated values. So this will go back to 250 MCM no matter what we had selected. And it'll turn gray to show that it is now a calculated value and not an overridden value. Okay, super. So that's about it for the calculation. Once you have your calculation done, of course, it automatically saves under Kitchen Feed under the job Google. However, there's more you can do with this calculation by clicking on the main menu button here. So let's go ahead and click on that. And the voltage drop main menu comes up, and we'll just go through these one at a time, and I'll explain exactly what they do. So your first option is email. What this does is it takes your selected voltage drop only, so in this case the Kitchen Feed for Google, and opens your web, your web browser, opens your email client, and it puts that calculation into a nicely created email body that you'll then be able to email off to whoever you wish. Now, if you need to email more values, not just the selected value, you go to email as CSV. This emails all your calculations under the job Google, no matter how many there are, and it packs them into a nice little spreadsheet file, which is this CSV file, which is a very common file format that can be opened by almost any app actually, but you'll probably want to open it in your spreadsheet file. It's a comma separated value file, so it can actually even be opened in a word processor, but typically you'd want to open this in a spreadsheet, and it will give you, like I said before, all your Google voltage drop calculations in an attachment attached to an email that you'll be able to send off. Help. The next option here is our PDF online user manual. So as soon as you click that, our user manual will pop up, a text-based user manual, PDF format. Next is print. What this will do is it'll open up a print dialog for the selected calculation only, and by default it'll allow you to print a PDF. However, if you have proper print software installed on your phone and proper compatible printers, you'll be able to send this calculation directly to your printer as well and print it out. Recalculate, we already went over. That's going to reset any overridden values and do a recalculation. Reset is a very destructive option that you won't typically use, but what it'll do is it'll change all your values back to default. So it'll change everything that you've selected back to the default values of the selected voltage drop calculation only. And then video tutorial, well, you figured that one out. We're watching the video tutorial right now. So this is going to open your web browser, open up YouTube, and point it towards this YouTube tutorial. That's what that option is. And cancel, of course, we'll just cancel you out of the menu if you decide not to do anything in the menu. So that's about it for voltage drop calculator. I hope it saves you lots of time and that you enjoy it. And I hope you have a great day.